Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Julie Baum. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I can also be found at stampwithjuliebaum.com. Today I'm showing you Project 2 from Stamp Club of January 2022. Most of the products that I'm showing you are available right now in the January to June mini catalog. This includes a couple of items. Let me show you here the Sweet Conversations bundle. This is a stamp set and coordinating dies. I'm also using the Sweet Talk 12 by 12 designer series paper. And this red faux linen ribbon is shown here on the box. This was project number 1. All right, but we're going to go on to project number 2. And then I also want to mention that I do have a Stampin' Bingo night coming up on Tuesday, January 25th. You can play if you are local or all across the country because this is a Facebook Live event. You'll find me at Independent Demonstrator Julie Baum on Facebook. And we start at 6:30 Pacific time on Tuesday night, January 25th. If you'd like to just tune in and watch, you're welcome to do that. If you'd like to register with me, all you need to do is contact me so that you can select your 5 numbers that you'll be playing bingo with. We do play bingo for prizes, and I do 3 card tutorials during that event. So project 1 from Stamp Club was this cute box. We are going to move on to project 2, but let me show you something. When I slide the ribbon off of this, make sure you go back on my channel and look for the project 1 tutorial so you can see how we did the box. But inside this mini paper pumpkin box is an example of our note cards and envelopes. These are sold in the annual catalog, 20 per package. And what is so wonderful about this is these little note cards and envelopes fit perfectly inside of the mini paper pumpkin box. So can you just imagine stamping 6 or 8 thank you or birthday or all occasion cards and putting them in one of these mini paper pumpkin boxes, decorating it however you want, and giving that as a gift. So super cute. Today, we're gonna do a little twist on that idea. So what I've done, and I'm not the one to invent this, I will give credit because Sarah Douglas, the CEO of Stampin' Up, had done this in one of her videos, and then I've also seen other demonstrators do it as well. But you're going to get to see my take on it today. So what I've done is I've taken 3 of the note cards and cut them in half. And I've also taken envelopes and cut those in half as well. So what I have are now 3 mini note cards. I'm going to grab my bone folder and just crease these so they have a good fold. So I have 3 of these. Obviously, when I cut 2 note cards in half, I had 4. But for this project, we are doing 3 of the 4. And then I took 3 halves of the envelopes as well. So here was 1 whole envelope cut in half. So now here's the flap to close the envelope, but we've got this open edge on both. So I'll show you how we're going to deal with that open edge. All right, let's do the envelopes first, and then we will do the little mini, I'm going to make Valentines. So we're going to do 3 mini Valentines today. This is project 2 from our Stamp Club of January 2022. If you are a member of Stamp Club and you had to miss this past week, this is a good time to catch up on the projects and see what we did. I have taken 3 strips of the designer series paper. This is the Sweet Talk 12 by 12 DSP. Any of the patterns would work for this. So these are the 3 I've chosen. On the back, there's that pretty pink marbling, another cute print with the conversation hearts and some stripes. Any of these would be adorable. So just choose your own. And again, it's a 1 inch by 3 inch piece. So if you are a little bit more fussy about things, you can put this on your Simply Scored and score it down the middle. But honestly, on this project, it doesn't matter if you just want to kind of do it freehand. So I'm just folding these lengthwise. It doesn't have to be perfect, I promise. And I tend to be one of those more fussy people. So if I'm doing it by hand, you can too. So we're just going to fold each of these in half long ways. Put a nice crease in them. It'll just make it easier for you. Oh, those stripes are super cute too. All right, I'm going to stick with the Valentine theme, and I will keep the hearts on the outside, but I can guarantee you I'm going to do something with that cute striped paper. Okay, so now we just need some adhesive. You can pick your choice. So I'll do one of two different kinds, and that way you can kind of see the difference. So the first one I will do with liquid glue. So I'm just going to take a little squiggle. I do want to get it close to the top edge. Well, I should say all the edges. You want to take a little bit of time and get this close to the edges without it wanting to squeeze out, you know, gush out of the edges. But you do want your edges sealed well on this little project, and then some down the middle. And all I'm going to do is take this and kind of sandwich it onto that open part of the envelope that was caused when I cut it in half. Get it on there nice and snug and press. All right, so here's our first strip in place, and that one was using the liquid glue. So cute, and now the envelope is usable because that little edge is sealed. So another way that you could do this is with your, let's use seal, Stamp and Seal. So if you prefer more of a dry adhesive like this, you can apply it. I'm starting in the middle and going all the way to the edge because that way I can be sure and get it all the way to the end. Sometimes when you try to start on one end, it doesn't really catch until you're a couple centimeters down. So it's just my method. And also, I wish I had done this before. Let me rub that off. I'm going to stick my little silicone mat under here. That way, if I do go off again, it'll come off this much easier than if I go off and it goes onto my background paper. All right, so this would be your method with your Stamp and Seal. And same process, find the open edge of the envelope from cutting it in half. And you're going to sandwich this onto that edge. The nice thing about the liquid glue is you have a little bit of wiggle room. If you don't get it in place right the first time, you can kind of wiggle it around before it has a chance to dry. With these drier adhesives like Stamp and Seal or the old snail, if you still have snail that you're using, you kind of get one shot at it. If you don't get it straight, sometimes it's too bad. All right, so there's that one. Now this envelope is ready to go. And then on this third one, just for speed, I'm going to just go back to my liquid glue on this one. Again, taking care to get it near your edges. When I pick up the envelope, I'll show you why that matters. All right, and then this one is on this side. I'm just going to turn it over because I feel like I can see it better. All right, and then you do want to make sure that you're lined up nice and flush with the bottom of the envelope. Here, the bottom of the envelope. And because it's cut to 3 inches, it'll be the correct length for it to fit on that open part of the envelope. And then I'm going to seal that shut. So what I was talking about when I said make sure you get close to the edges, you don't want these edges like to peel up or to get caught on anything. So as long as your glue or your adhesive of choice got very close to the edge, you're going to have it sealed really nicely without it wanting to come up. This is the one I think I did with the Stamp and Seal. It's on there really good too. So I must have done okay getting it close to the edges. All right, there's our 3 envelopes, little mini envelopes. Look at how cute. And of course, whatever pattern paper you chose is gonna come out just beautifully. So now let's do the little mini Valentines that are going to go inside. The first thing I'll do, oh, and let me remind you, I'm using the stamp set from the Sweet Conversations bundle. So the stamp set itself is called Sweet Conversations. This is where I'm pulling my stamps from. And the first thing I'm going to do is use these words with my black ink. And I'm just going to stamp in this lower right corner. Happy to have you in my life. Now we're going to do some stamping with colors. I will start with Highland Heather and the largest heart in that stamp set. And it might be a good time to mention that the style of these photopolymer stamps are distinctive. And so I'm trying to see if they call them distinctive on the set. It doesn't say, because some of our stamp sets are actually, they're actually labeled as distinctive. But the reason that I'm saying that is when you stamp, and you'll see right now, the design of the artwork itself is to not be completely solid. It's got that little bit of natural shading in it, and it is just beautiful. It's also super nice if you're a newer stamper and your images don't always come out crisp and clear. With this type of stamp, it doesn't even matter. So I will put 3 of these larger hearts onto this tag. You notice that I am stamping off of the edge of my card. If you are a newer stamper, that's something that you want to pay attention to. You don't want all your images to fit inside the borders of the paper you're using, or it won't look right to your eye. So you need to stamp some of the images off the edge and fill the paper, which is why I just have a piece of scratch paper underneath my work surface. All right, then we're going to switch out to a different heart stamp, and we'll change to Real Red ink. My Real Red ink pad has been getting a real workout. I used it so much during Christmas time, of course, for Christmas projects, and now for Valentine's projects. So Real Red has really been a popular one. It probably hasn't gone into its storage area in a long time. It lives on my desk. All right, so let's add some Real Red hearts. Again, it's got that little bit of natural shading, which looks very nice. I can even stamp over the words a little bit, and it looks good. Where do I want to put a third one? I'm going to put just the edge of one down here. All right, let's try that for this. And then I'm going to switch to my third heart for this project. And I've done this pink both ways. I've used Blushing Bride, and it has a nice look with these other colors. This time I'm going to go ahead and use Flirty Flamingo. If you have Blushing Bride, Petal Pink, or Flirty Flamingo, any of those will work. And you can check your color, see if you're going to like it, stamp it on some scratch paper and see what you think. So I like this full strength. So now I'm going to give myself a nice pink heart there, and there, and up here. There is my first mini Valentine. And this is going to pair up nicely with one of these envelopes, probably that one. All right, there's number 1 of our mini cards. Number 2, I'm going to start with the Happy Valentine's Day words. And I'll stamp this using black ink. And I am going to walk this around different areas of my pad. Sometimes you'll find that you always go to the middle of your ink pad, and then that area gets actually used up or a little bit drier, and you've got really good ink in other areas. So I am walking this around my ink pad. Okay, this one's going to go sideways up the right edge. I would normally lean in a little bit to see the placement of this, but I don't want to get my head in the shot. So let's see if that came out. All right, Happy Valentine's Day. Now I will use that largest heart that we used before. I cleaned this after I used it. You might have seen me. I brought my Simply Chamois in here and cleaned the Highland Heather ink off of it, because this time I'm going to use Real Red. And on this one, it's going to be kind of a design with hearts almost floating up the side. So I'll put 1, 2, 3 of these. I will clean that right now because I may use that one again in a moment. And then I'll use this heart. I've used 3 hearts so far total. There's this one, which I'm calling the largest heart, which I think it is in this stamp set. This one, which is a little bit skinnier. He's kind of tall and skinny. And then that other one that we used on the first one is kind of short and chubbier. So those are kind of the 3 heart shapes. So I'm using the tall, skinny one, and I will go back to Flirty Flamingo on this card. And again, stamp some hearts kind of floating up the left edge. All right, you can be very random with your stamping. And I'm looking at this one. I think these are too much in line. Let me pull in a different one that I did because I think this one is better. It's not so bad that I would not use it, but I do like the layout of this one a little bit better. All right, so there's our little mini Valentine tag 2 or Valentine card. And now let's do the third one with a different look. I will go back to the Happy Valentine's Day words and get my real red that I rely on all the time. So I'm going to put the words on this one first, and then we'll add the hearts, and we're going to use some different hearts, different stamps from that set. All right, I'm going to go not quite a third of the way up and put my words right across my mini card, like so. All right, this time I'm going to use this heart, or this stamp, with 3 outlines of hearts. I love how this looks, and this is going to be almost like a little play on a rainbow look. Not sticking just to pink and red this time. So I've got Granny Apple Green, and I'll do 3 hearts at the bottom. That's on the one stamp. Clean the ink off of that and switch to Highland Heather. I'm going to try to space my hearts out because I fill the paper going up. All right, so I'm also trying to line my hearts up so that they somewhat appear in line. If you're super fussy, a great way to do this would be with your Stamparatus, and then you could move your hinged plate each time, and your hearts, your row of hearts would be staggered precisely. But I'm eyeballing it today. All right, I'm going to clean the Highland Heather off of that, but before I put that ink pad away, this time I'm going to fill in the hearts. So Highland Heather ink again, and I'm going to stamp in the center, and I'm going to do my best without getting right over it like I would if I wasn't stamping on camera. All right, fill those in. And then some pink. Let's open up Flirty Flamingo. And come up a ways. And then for my last one, I'm going to use Pool Party. Now these colors that I'm using weren't just completely random choices, but when you buy the pack of designer series paper, and again, this one's called Sweet Talk, on the back of the package, or sometimes on the front, depending on where the label is, on the label of the package, it will list all of the Stampin' Up! Colors that have been used to create that paper. So all of the colors that I'm using right now, not Flirty Flamingo, the one on the paper says Petal Pink and also Blushing Bride. I chose to substitute Flirty Flamingo for my pink. But all these other colors, the Granny Apple Green, the Highland Heather, and now Pool Party, are all listed as coordinating colors with those papers. All right, and then my last row here is with pool party. So that's my third little mini Valentine, and I will put all these with an envelope so you can see the finished project. I have all kinds of cards floating around here now. Where's my envelopes? Envelope, envelope, envelope. Okay, I think that I would coordinate this one with this paper because this paper has some of those other colors. It has the pool party and the green. So I'm going to put this one inside here. Cute. And then I've got two more choices and two more cards. This one is pink and red, so I think I'll put it with the pink and red hearts. Tuck that one inside. And for the final one that has a little bit of that Highland heather, I will match it up with this paper that I selected for that envelope. And there you have an adorable idea of how to take your note cards and envelopes to a whole new level by cutting them in half and using mini note cards and envelopes. This was Project 2 from Stamp Club in January of 2022. I'll just bring this back in. If there's products that you would like to order and you don't already order through a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to help you. You can visit my store. And the easiest way to get there is at stampwithjuliebaum.com. And from there, click the Shop Now button, and it will link you straight to my store. In the host code box at checkout, if you will put this code, that will link it to today's tutorial. That would be very helpful. Thank you so much. And that code is good through the end of January. And again, here are some of the products that I've used today in Project 2 from Stamp Club. Tune back into the next video where I will show you Project 3 from Stamp Club. Thank you and bye.